Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Rhea Ripley will get her shot at both Liv Morgan and the Women's World Championship at WWE Bad Blood in Atlanta. The match was made official during the season premiere of Raw from Calgary. The heated rivalry started after Ripley injured Morgan last summer. In 2024, the current champ has embarked on her revenge tour, taking not only Mommy's title but also her faction and her man. Since their rivalry fits the name of the show, WWE may not necessarily attach a stipulation to their title showdown. One of the next 4 stipulations would be appropriate for the hated enemies, should that change. 4. Another steel cage defense for Liv Morgan. At the beginning of the summer, Liv Morgan defended her newly won title against Becky Lynch in a steel cage. During the match, Dominic Mysterio inadvertently cost the man the chance to regain the title. It was another wrinkle in the ongoing revenge tour. While Adam Pearce booked CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in a Hell in a Cell match, there is no reason why Morgan and Ripley can't follow their lead. The structure could be used for more than one match on the card at Bad Blood. If not, they could just use a regular steel cage to keep others out of the fight. The ongoing rivalry deserves a huge stipulation, and the Hell in a Cell structure will already be near the ring for the Best in the World and the Scottish Warrior. 3. Rhea Ripley gets time alone with Dominic Mysterio if she wins. Rhea is upset at not only Liv Morgan but also at Dominic Mysterio. He turned his back on his mommy despite Ripley forgiving him for his transgressions. His betrayal hurts more than others due to their relationship. The Eradicator is also upset at Morgan and Dominic for different reasons, so should she be victorious at Bad Blood, mommy should get some alone time with Dirty Dom. That could mean she earns a singles match against her former paramour or 5 minutes alone in the ring with him. Promotions use this trope when someone really wants to get his or her hands on a squirrely villain. 2. Liv Morgan has one hand tied behind her back on last week's Raw. Morgan and Dominic trapped Rhea Ripley in the ring ropes like she was being snared in a live animal trap. Mommy sold the injury by walking on a crutch over the last 2 weeks. Since Morgan and Dominic caused her injury, Adam Pearce could opt to level the playing field for the match at Bad Blood. Ripley will presumably only have one working leg, so he could force Morgan to have one arm tied behind her back. It was a shoulder injury caused by Ripley that cost the current champ several months of action in the second half of 2023. The act could also lead to a definitive third match if she skirted the stipulation at Bad Blood. 1. A last woman standing match at Bad Blood. If the dispute between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley is not addressed in a steel cage, then another useful stipulation could be used for Bad Blood. The last man/woman standing rule is often used to increase the intensity of a feud. The fact that one star inflicts so much damage on their opponent that they cannot answer a 10 count usually gives a heated rivalry a definitive conclusion. Bad Blood's theme should obviously feature numerous matches between stars with animosity. Since this showdown will be another chapter in the Revenge and Brutality tours, it requires a huge stipulation. A last woman standing match would fit that requirement. As WWE gears up for its highly anticipated Bad Blood pay-per-view, fans are buzzing about one match in particular, the showdown between Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. These two have shared an intense and storied rivalry, with Liv's underdog determination clashing against Rhea's powerhouse dominance. But as the stakes get higher and Dominic Mysterio's influence looms in the background, what could make this rivalry even more intense? The answer lies in match stipulations. In a battle for supremacy and pride, here are 4 stipulations that can level the playing field, or perhaps tilt it in favor of Dominic's beloved Rhea. 1. No disqualification match. The Chaos Factor. A no disqualification match would be a perfect addition to this contest, allowing both competitors to unleash their full range of brutality and tactics. Given Rhea Ripley's history of underhanded maneuvers and Liv Morgan's penchant for never backing down, this stipulation would amplify the chaos. In a no DQ environment, Liv could even the odds by using weapons to overcome Rhea's size advantage. Imagine Liv armed with kendo sticks or steel chairs, trying to topple the Eradicator in her own playground of pain. The visual of Liv battling against Rhea's brute strength with sheer grit and whatever tools she can find would create a memorable spectacle. But there's a twist to this stipulation: Dominic Mysterio's interference. In a no DQ match, anything goes, and that includes outside involvement. Dominic, who has been Rhea's loyal accomplice, could easily tip the scales by getting involved at the most crucial moments, whether by distracting Liv or handing Rhea a weapon. This stipulation provides a scenario where Liv might need backup, or perhaps finally realizes that she's facing not just one opponent, but two. 2. Steel cage match, locking out the Ghost of Judgment Day to counter the interference that Dominic or any other Judgment Day members might bring. A steel cage match would offer a more controlled battleground. A steel cage stipulation would ensure that no one could enter or exit the ring without overcoming the unforgiving walls of steel. This way, Liv would have a chance to face Rhea one-on-one, free from outside distractions. The brutality of the cage itself would serve as a weapon for both women, as we'd likely see them use the structure to inflict more damage. Rhea, with her raw strength, could throw Liv into the unforgiving cage, but Liv could use her agility to scale the walls or perform high-risk maneuvers from the top. The psychological aspect of being trapped inside a steel cage with no escape would also come into play. Liv, despite her resolve, would be tested in an environment where she must not only overcome Rhea's power but also conquer her own fear. Conversely, Rhea, whose confidence thrives on intimidation, would be forced to confront a Liv who's more dangerous than ever when cornered. The steel cage might keep Dominic out, but it also locks the two women inside, forcing both to confront the real essence of their rivalry. 3. I Quit match. A battle of willpower and I Quit match is all about pushing your opponent to their absolute breaking point. In a contest between Rhea and Liv, this stipulation would represent a true battle of willpower. The only way to win is to force your opponent to utter the words "I quit," a feat that neither Rhea nor Liv would be willing to concede easily. This match would strip away any reliance on outside help or quick wins. It would be about who can endure the most pain and suffering without breaking. For Liv, this would be her chance to prove, once and for all, that she can hang with the best and overcome any challenge, no matter how daunting. For Rhea, it would be about maintaining her aura of invincibility, ensuring that her reign of dominance remains unquestioned. Dominic's presence could loom large here as well. Imagine the emotional manipulation that could come into play if Dominic tries to force Liv into quitting by threatening to hurt her, or if Liv uses her own tactics to turn Dominic against Rhea. An I Quit match would not just test the physical limits of these two warriors, but also their psychological endurance. 4. Lumberjack match. Judgment Day's Judgment. A lumberjack match introduces a unique dynamic where the ring is surrounded by WWE superstars, preventing either competitor from fleeing. This stipulation could heighten the stakes for Rhea and Liv as their peers, and perhaps enemies, watch closely from ringside. For Liv, this might be a way to ensure she isn't trapped alone with Rhea and Dominic. The presence of other superstars could provide a level of accountability, preventing Judgment Day from running wild. But on the flip side, if Rhea uses her influence to recruit her fellow Judgment Day members as lumberjacks, the odds could become overwhelmingly stacked against Liv. The chaotic nature of a lumberjack match means that every time one competitor is thrown out of the ring, they are immediately tossed back in by the surrounding superstars. This constant motion creates an unrelenting pace that would force both Rhea and Liv to adapt quickly. Liv's resilience would be tested as she's thrown back into the ring time after time, while Rhea would need to rely on her ability to dominate even in the midst of chaos. In a lumberjack scenario, alliances could shift, and unexpected help could arrive for either competitor. Liv might find allies among the lumberjacks, evening the odds against Judgment Day interference. But, just as likely, Dominic might lead a coalition to crush Liv once and for all, making this stipulation one of high unpredictability. Conclusion: the path ahead. Each of these stipulations, no disqualification, steel cage, I quit, and lumberjack, brings a different dynamic to the Rhea Ripley vs. Liv Morgan match at Bad Blood. The question remains, will Liv finally level the playing field and prove she's capable of dethroning the Eradicator, or will the path be cleared for Rhea to assert her dominance, with Dominic always lurking in the background? With Bad Blood shaping up to be a dramatic and intense event, the addition of any of these stipulations would only enhance the storytelling and the brutal clash of wills between these two fierce competitors. Fans can only wait and wonder, will it be a level playing field or a clear path to victory for Rhea Ripley?